done this, but tonight, once again, we have a weekly episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friend, do not argue with me. You have intuition. I firmly believe that everybody has intuition. So I'm going to go ahead and say hello. So I definitely know that the YouTube stream is working. Let's see if the Facebook stream is working. Yes. Hello in both places from the same person. Thank you so much, Sophia. I'm glad to know that this is working. Let me go ahead and display my name again. And I was going to start us off over on Instagram as well, because I feel like it would be a good one to do over on IG Live as well. So let's get that popping over there too. Also, I did make sure that I gave myself a nice overlay and updated it for tonight's topic. So let me make sure I pop that up here. Let's propagate that before we get started. There we go. Now I can go ahead and hide this. Okay, and make sure I lean this way. Yeah. Making sure it's comfortable for me to be able to do this broadcast. All right, let's see here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Live. Oh, that's a little higher than I want it to be, but I also don't want it to be blocking our camera angle over here too. All right, and we've got Katie here as well. Hello, Katie. Nice to see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Let me go ahead and write in our title over here, Filming Tarot Spreads. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do the cute starburst. Yeah, I can do that when I do the live. I can change that during the live, can't I? Hope so. Aha, there we go. We're good. Give me my filter. There we go. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, now we're really going to start. Let me go ahead and do the spiel all over again so you know who I am and also what we're talking about tonight too. And this is a topic that was made by popular request to actually one of our newer viewers. It might have been Sophia, actually, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I do have a lot of different topics that people have proposed to me over the now, gosh, I think it is 2 years this month that I've been doing weekly shows pretty much consistently. I mean, I will take some time off. So, but yeah, let's start it all over. Yes, it was you. Thank you, Sophia. See, this is proof that I'm not going completely crazy. And I am going to rely on you to ask some questions live in case I don't answer or don't, I don't know, I guess don't cover the topic in the way that you expected me to, because I've already gone down the rabbit hole of like the gear list. And I do have, I have compiled a gear list, but it's definitely not complete because over the, oh my goodness, it's got to be, I think, 2005. It's at least 13 years, 14 years of me doing this professionally that I've accumulated all of this gear list. So I'm pretty sure that like it might be, I don't know, based on what your question was asking, whether it's just like, how do you film? What do you use? How do you do it? but I think it's more of the how than the what do you use. But sometimes it is about building up your gear list, seeing what works for you, what doesn't work for you, etc. So I've started to go down the rabbit hole of the gear list, but maybe that's not what you were looking for. So keep me on track, Sophia. That's what I'm going to ask you for tonight. But I'm glad you came to tune in live for your show, basically. And I see Zuri is tuning in as well. So hello to you, Zuri. All right, so let's start this over, right? Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Don't argue with me. You have intuition. Okay. On tonight's episode, and thank you for the 2-week reprieve as I fill up my emotional and well-being well. Tonight's episode, we were talking about filming and recording tarot spreads, or also photographing tarot spreads, how I do it in the course of a reading, what I send to my clients, how perhaps I film some of these live shows, or live card of the day, how I do my TikTok thing, and awesome. Okay, cool. So we're on the right track here. Sophia is saying gear is 100% what I'm looking for. Okay, well, you're gonna get a lot, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed by what I'm saying, because you don't have to have all of the gear all at once. And I actually did a little bit of a preview of tonight's episode over on my IG live earlier today, so you can find that over on the TV. Zuri, you're fine to stay here because I'm doing it in all the places. If you're watching on Instagram and you're more comfortable on Instagram, that's totally fine too. So I did this list already, or started to list some of the stuff already as almost like a preview for this episode that you're watching right now. But what I want to emphasize here, and what I emphasized in that preview video, is, you don't have to have all the stuff right away. You can definitely add to it and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. The reason why I did that kind of preview, and I wasn't planning on doing it, but it felt very organic for me to do it, so I did it, was because I actually had a phone reading that I was scheduled to do last week, and then my day job, I had a lot of stuff going on, and I realized I had to work a little bit longer than I had previously thought, which interfered with the reading that had already been booked. So I reached out to my client and I said, hey, can we reschedule? I'm very sorry, but sometimes, my full-time job has to come first, right? So my client was very understanding. So we rescheduled. And then suddenly I had another phone reading booked this week. So it just became like I did a phone reading last night and I did a phone reading today. So right after I did the phone reading that I had today, and I was about to sit down and do all of the things that kind of come naturally and automatically to me now, I realized, well, why don't I just go ahead and start up an IG live and film some of the stuff that I'm doing, not necessarily the nitty gritty and revealing, my client's name or, their particular reading. No. This was more of an example. And I basically said it and showed some of the gear that I use, not necessarily the reading contents itself, because, not that kind of reader. You want a reader that keeps it sacred, and keeps the client information sacred and sacrosanct, right? You want to feel comfortable in saying something that you may not say to other people. You can say it to your tarot reader if you've got a good tarot reader. So, and I think I'm a good tarot reader. Anyway, so while I was sitting here about to send all of the stuff that I usually do for a phone reading, I was just like, why didn't I just film that? So yes, yeah, exactly. So Zuri is saying over on IG, keeps it on the vault, or in the vault. Yes, exactly. And Sophia is saying Essential psychic amnesia. Yes, exactly. To coin a phrase from Nancy Antonucci, author of Psychic Tarot, sacred amnesia, psychic amnesia, very, very important. And I feel like if I didn't cultivate that when I was a younger, newer reader, I don't think I would been able to sustain my business because otherwise I'm taking on too much. And it's ultimately like not my information, it's the client's information. And you know, if you take that on and you get enmeshed in it, then you really can't do your job well for other clients. You know, it all gets kind of tangled up in your head. And then it's like, who's on first? And it's just like, well, did I say that to that person, or what issue is that? I like to start fresh every single time, which is what I say to my clients, even my regular clients, especially my regular clients, because you know, I don't want them to feel bad or feel like I'm not listening to them, or I'm not retaining their information, or like I don't care about them or their issues. I explain it in such a way that it's just like, I'm not going to remember what I say to you in the space of a reading. That's the reason why I record my readings and I send them to my clients, or I have my client record their reading, because I don't want to have that situation of, oh, well, you said this to me in a reading 6 months ago, and da 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 da, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, like that information is gone to me. It was 6 months ago. Even in the span of like 24 to 48 hours, like I might retain some things if it was like a very prominent like theme of the reading, but I'm probably not going to retain anything, you know, in depth. And you know, time is the great, you know, memory memory taker or whatever. So but it's like not my job to be the retainer of that information. Like we say on one of our episodes of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, the high priestess is not your filing cabinet, neither is your tarot reader. So remember, take in that information, take notes. If your tarot reader offers you the option of recording your readings to send to you afterwards, like take it. Take that option. You're not going to regret it, and you're going to listen to the reading later on, and you're going to pick up on more things. Like that's just how it works. Anyway, Zuri says readers should be like a lawyer, confidential and sacred. Yes, like I feel like I usually say it's just like we're like priests but more fun, and I don't have like a vow of chastity or anything like that either. So you know, and I see Lavina also in on the live show. Hello, Lavina. How are you doing? I am doing well, and you? Anyway, so that is the focus of the episode. We are going to be guided by Sophia, who requested this episode, and we are going to be focused a little bit more towards gear. However, please take what I'm saying and don't run out and buy the most fancy equipment, crazy, you know, like spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Like you can accumulate this over time, and you also want to accumulate this over time and see like what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And the reason why I say that is because I did do that filming before, right after my phone reading, so that I could kind of like do it as I went and like talk about it and be like, okay, so what I found is like I wore my headset, and so I have my boxes right here so I can show you the exact gear that I use. And I'm glad to know that I was on the right track with Sophia, because I was just like, okay, filming tarot spreads, like what does that look like exactly? Is it more gear centered, or just like, is it how I do it, or is it this? So I'm glad to know I'm on the right track. Anyway, so I've got some boxes here, and I have some, I guess, lower cost stuff, and then of course I've got like the gear that I have now. So you kind of you grow into what you're using, and you also want to make sure that you're using what you're using and what you're purchasing. And the reason why I say that is because I have mentioned about some of the stuff that I've gotten from Socialite Lighting. Socialite as in socialite, like debutante, as in, L-I-T-Y, L-I-T-E, not light, but it's like social lighting. So I have two things from them actually, but the one that I use the most is the one that I'm going to show you the box on, okay? And the one that I'm using right now, because it's the one that I use the most, and it's actually the cheaper option. However, I do have this beautiful set that I just haven't used yet, and I did pay a lot of money for it, and I'm sure it's going to be awesome, but I haven't used it yet because I just haven't used it yet, because what I have already, it's working so well for me that I may have like bitten off more than I can chew, not because the brand's not good, because I love them, but I haven't been using it. So I do want you guys to keep that in mind as we go over the gear that I'm talking about. Like, if you're going to purchase it, use it. Don't like let it collect cobwebs or collect dust, because you bit off more than you can chew, because you were like taken in by like, oh, I'm gonna do this all the time. It's just like, no. So I have this 6-foot stand ring light with all the bells and whistles, but I just haven't used it yet because I've been using their clamp light for so long that it's just like I just haven't used it. So I am gonna use it. I don't feel bad or I don't regret the purchase, but like, use what you get, basically. So I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But I would encourage you to go over onto my IG page after you watch this episode. And it's the same. That's the reason why I did this cute little overlay, as Be Live calls it, with my handle, which is basically, you got that for Instagram, you also got that for TikTok as well. And of course, as I'm saying that, I realize that I haven't posted my card of the day to TikTok, because it's like another thing that I like keep on adding on. So, Anyway, so I'm glad to know that I'm on the right track here, and you can watch that. You can watch that in my IGTV after we're done with the episode. I think it'd be very helpful to like kind of see what I'm talking about. Not very glamorous. I've got my headset on and I've got my sleep shirt on, and I just, changed for this episode. But you'll see what I'm talking about. It's me with a headset on, and I'm going to show you the box and everything. I will show you the gear, but make sure you're using the gear that you get. And you have all the time in the world to add and see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And of course, I was going to go grab my poster board, which is like a very low cost way of filming as well. So I might grab that at some point during the episode too. Probably in between when we do the Astro-Weather into the main topic of tonight. So I'll probably do the countdown timer and go grab that. And you can hydrate or think of questions to ask me or ruminate on the astrology that I give you. Either way, and that way I can just show you some of the, bootstrapping things that I've done in the past in order to film my card of the day or photograph my card of the day. So Sophia says, lighting is so hard. I feel like all of my stuff looks like it's in a cave. Okay, well, wonderful. I've definitely got some options for you. Definitely. And this clamp light that I use, I don't think it cost me more than $25. And so, you don't have to have it fancy. You don't have to pay a lot of money. And also with lighting, I said this earlier, but I'll say it again here, lighting stuff, you may need to want to use natural light. You may have to go to a window. You might have to use your windowsill as your kind of like lighting implement. So using natural light like the sun in order to light your photographs, if you don't have, a lighting implement or option. And I definitely hear you when you're saying like lighting is so hard. I feel like all of my stuff looks like in a cave. I don't. the apartment that I'm in, it's not necessarily considered a basement apartment. Like, I mean, it is considered a basement apartment, but it's more on the ground floor. So we don't get a lot of natural light in here, which is the reason why I have my lamp over here. And I'm actually in like the furthest corner of my living room, like away from the windows, just because that's where my couch is, that's where my router is, that's happens to be where my phone is, which I'm going to be showing you, like my headset and everything. So it just makes sense for me to film over here. But I totally hear you when you're saying that. I feel like all of my stuff looks like it's in a cave. Like hashtag me too, in the other sense, samesies, samesies. I'll use that. And sometimes, again, it's trial and error. Let me try this over here at the windowsill. Not quite right. Let me try it over here in my bedroom. Okay, let me go into the kitchen and use the overhead light. How is that looking? Too neon, too not? How can I filter this in such a way that it's kind of like more a natural filter? It's not so blinding, or it's not like white light. Like for example, here, this light that I'm using right now, that I am going to tell you about when we get into the gear list, it has different lighting options. So what I'm using right now for this ring light is like a combination of like kind of like a tinted yellow, but white, and white at the same time. So let me change it. So this is another. This is another. This is another. So you can get pure white. This one's the pure white. You can get like kind of a yellowy hue, and then this is the white and the yellow. So right now, I'm going to put it back to what I was using before, which was the more yellow. And you can actually crank up this. So you can make it brighter. Actually, that setting is pretty good. I'll put it there. So this is with the brightness turned up. And let's show you what it looks like with it off completely. You see the difference, right? So I'm going to turn it up. And that's the difference between regular lighting, or what it looks like currently in my apartment, versus using that clamp light that only cost me like $25, right? So yeah, okay. And Zuri's joined us now over on Facebook. I definitely relate to that when I do the live sales too, about the lighting feeling like it's in a cave, that kind of thing. Yeah. Sophia says, ooh, that's nice. Yeah. So that is what we're going to be getting into in this episode. I feel like that was a lot of preliminary stuff, and we need to stick to our normal agenda so that I can keep on track with you guys. So first of all, and right on time, by the way, we have the tarot lady joining us over on IG. Theresa, I'm just about to give the Astro-Weather from your Astro-Biz digest for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So you're here right on time, my love. So nice of you to join us. By the way, follow Theresa over on IG, join her Patreon, work with this woman. You will not regret it. Theresa has been on my ass since I met her 10 years ago in April, when I did her Tarot Apprentice contest. And she's like, that was just a year's worth of mentorship with her. Now I can't shake her. Just saying, I love you. I love you, Theresa, so much. Theresa says, you look amazing. Thank you so much. It's my haircut. I got my hair did. My first haircut since the pandemic. So I felt really bad going to my salon. Because I was just like, oh, my stylist is going to kill me. He's going to be so unhappy with me. But like all of my color depositing conditioner wacky colors have now washed out, so like I'm left with like, I guess the blonde that he originally put in, but he ended up cutting like quite a bit. Like, I mean, you can go back and watch different episodes and you can see just how long my hair was and how unruly my hair was. Dude, it was not good, guys. Zuri, are you turning in both places? Facebook and and IG? If so, cool. That's great. Yes. So Zuri says Theresa is amazing. I never stop learning from her. Exactly, exactly. So follow Theresa, the Tarot Lady. I'm also going to put up the link to the Astro-Biz Digest, which is where I get all of my astrology from. I swear it has been guiding me. It has never guided me wrong. By the way, Theresa, I have to tell you, like, you were spot on this past week. And I've started to share some of the forecasts with some of my coworkers at my day job, like down to the minute when things started to go sideways, down to the minute. So they were just like, no, like, no, can you just share that with me, because like I'm going to go to lunch at this time, so I just don't I don't have to so I don't deal with this craziness. So I was just like, yeah, exactly. So I have shared that over on Facebook and also YouTube. Um, Theresa happens to be in the chat right now, but I mean, obviously, the Tarot Lady. And Theresa says, "I love my Astro-Biz Digest. It's my fave thing to create," and it shows. It shows. It's amazing, guys. So as I usually say when we start off the Astro-Biz Digest, I don't give away anything more than Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Why? Because I want you guys to purchase this from Theresa. I want you guys to be subscribers of the Astro-Biz Digest. And it's like ridiculously cheap for what you're getting. $99 subscription for a year's worth of astrology that is geared towards entrepreneurs and business people, but I also find it incredibly helpful in my personal life as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show that link over on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to wave to Sarah Simoen. And we're going to get started with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Cool. I mean, Theresa, we could always try out you using Be Live as a guest too. But I think you're only tuning in over IG. So if you tune in over on Facebook or YouTube, I might have been able to like invite you. So we'll talk about it later. One of these days, I do want to do an interview kind of thing with you. Okay, so let us do the Astro-Biz Digest. Okay, ready? Are we ready? Yes, we can definitely talk about that one day. Awesome, great. Let me hide that. We're good. Okay. And I'm going to keep this displayed on screen as well. Okay, so it's astrology time. And let me find this. All right, are we ready? Because, okay. Venus in Libra on the 16th, client attraction, eye-catching, Uranus retrograde on the 19th, so we're already dealing with that energy. Check in with your team, check in with yourself and your cash flow, brainstorm new ideas, innovation with the Uranus retrograde. Connecting with old clients, review sessions, and ask yourself where you need more help too. And full moon in Aquarius on the 22nd. So we'll get into that when we talk about Sunday. And also that's interesting because that falls on my wedding anniversary too, on the 22nd. That's actually part of the reason why I took off yesterday and today from my day job, even though that did not stop me from seeing my tarot clients over the phone. So, and then Sun in Virgo on the 22nd as well. So let's get into the nitty gritty stuff. Are we ready? I just want to let me know. Let's go. Are we ready? Put it into the chat right now, wherever you're tuning in from. I want to see the energy. I want to see you're ready for this astrology. Thank you, Theresa. I know it's been 6 years. So if you want to know what the gifts are associated with a 6-year wedding anniversary. It is apparently candy, and I don't know what the second one is. Maybe tin? Is it tin? No, it's not tin. Maybe iron? I don't know. I can't remember. We looked it up. And I just remembered the candy portion. Of course, right? All right, so Theresa's leaving us, but she's got to go take care of her hubby. But thank you for dropping in, albeit shortly. Love to see you. All right, so Zuri's ready, Sarah's ready, Sophia is ready, and Katie is ready. So let's go. All right. Yeah, exactly. And Theresa says, thank you for mentioning my work. No problem. I do it every single episode. Every single episode. It's always Astro-Weather, then the topic, then the weekend forecast. So you're always front and center. Sarah says, I just like the candy. Exactly. That's where my mind focused on candy. Candy sounds good, Sophia says. Yes, exactly. All right, let's do this before we get distracted. Any more so than we already are. So Friday, today, Mercury trine Uranus, 4:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, delivers sudden insights and brilliant ideas. Pay close attention to your brainstorms. There is real genius present. At 4:49 a.m., the moon will waltz into Aquarius. Innovation will be the theme for the next 2 days. Update your tech, learn a new skill, and find novel ways to stand out in your industry. Use social media wisely now, and you'll see your dough rise. So I did that IG without even knowing the astrology. I didn't even look at it for today. So I think that's kind of funny. Cash attraction is amplified at 2:01 p.m. when the moon trines Venus. Be sure to get your face out there as much as possible around this time. I happened to go onto IG and do that at like right after my client was scheduled from 1 to 2 p.m. That was, and then I just came on there right afterwards. So I think that's pretty funny. A smart PR campaign could net some big fish. Host a serious sit down with your team at 7:55 p.m. The moon is conjunct Saturn at that time, and you can hammer out all the basic stuff and begin plotting out future endeavors. Today is a power day for Aquarius and a weak day for Leo. And again, if you're hearing me say the businessy jargon or the entrepreneurial jargon and you're not feeling it, just go ahead and take that out and just listen to the message and see where you need to tweak it or apply it. Oh, okay, so I was right. It is iron. Iron for strength supposedly is the traditional. Wood is the modern version. But sometimes it gets confusing with the wedding anniversary stuff because sometimes the traditional conflicts with the modern and sometimes the modern conflicts with the traditional. So, but apparently you heard it here first. 6 years is candy and iron for a wedding anniversary. And speaking of, I think Alex is here, my stylist. Hi, Alex. Look at your handiwork. So if anyone wants to know why my hair looks so good, it's AH Magic Salon. Just letting you know, putting it out there. Okay. So for Friday, we've got Friday, right? Okay, Saturday. Saturday has one bump in the cosmos at 6:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the moon squares Uranus. This brings tech aggravation, unreliable clients, community drama from a few rogue types. Stay out of the mess. The skies will clear a few hours later, and the rest of the day will be friendly for business. It's perfect for networking. Rub elbows with influencers, reach out to your community, and do your best to make connections with new folks. Sunday, so that's Saturday, guys. So a few blips, early morning. You may want to just sleep in and not deal with it and get a later start, if you can. Sunday finds a full moon in Aquarius at 8:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to go ahead and read you the scope for full moon in Aquarius. Clear out your network and leave online groups. If your associations are not a good fit, move on. This is also a perfect lunation for dinner with your team and or a party for your students if you teach. Celebrate the wins and start plotting out next year's big things. Also, acts and service and practical matters are in when the sun slips into detail or obsessed Virgo on the 22nd. Get your entire business organized from top to bottom. Look for ways to streamline from client care policies to your daily operations. Create templates to save time and hire the right help to keep the little stuff off of your CEO desk. Then, once the sun moves into Libra on September 22nd, you'll be in the best shape ever and ready to slay into the next few months of the year and also finish off the year strong. Moon skips into sensitive Pisces at 8:48 a.m., bringing emotions to the surface. Clients want more care, and you need time for you. If you can, let this be your self-care day. As the evening looms, the sun will be in detail-oriented Virgo, 5:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Already told you the scope for that. Saturday is a power day for Aquarius and a weekday for Leos. Sunday is a power day for Pisces and a weekday for Virgo. Also, Alex just said, hi, thank you so much. You're welcome and thank you, obviously. Like, look at it. It's so bouncy. Love it. Love my hair. All right. Any questions about the astrology before we move into the gear list episode about filming tarot spreads, photographing tarot spreads? This might also be a good episode for those of you who need photography in your own work. If you do product, if you do service-based, these tips might help you as well. It doesn't have to just be for tarot. Sometimes you need to photograph, a product that you made, or sometimes you need to photograph, I don't know, the hair that you did. So this is probably a good episode for anyone that needs to photograph or film, mostly geared toward the gear list, pardon the pun, but also some tips that I've picked up along the way. Again, like what we were talking about before earlier in the episode, Sophia was saying about lighting. That's like the number one concern, feeling like you're in a dark cave. Sometimes you need help and you need it through lighting. So we're going to talk about that. But let's talk a little bit about the astrology of last week. If you happen to have any particular day from the week that we didn't just talk about, like we just talked about Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I usually open up the floor a little bit in case like your Tuesday was weird, or like, oh, Monday was just dramatic, like everyone was dramatic. Can you tell me more about the astrology that was going on Monday? So I usually leave the floor open to that and those kind of questions before we move into the topic of the night, which is about filming tarot spreads. Bex Tarot says, hello. Welcome to the show. So I'll give it a minute or so, and I'm going to go ahead and hydrate myself while I'm waiting for any questions about the astrology of the week and if things were weird in the past week. I'm happy to look at the astrology from Theresa Reed's wonderful Astro-Biz Digest. By the way, I'm drinking water. It doesn't look like I'm drinking water because I got my order from Water Drop. Again, watching and like scrolling through IG sometimes with their targeted advertisements, like close your wallet, like be a savvy shopper, but like they got me. So it's called Water Drop, all one word, I think .com. And they have these little like, I don't know, water, not necessarily supplements, but it's just like flavor for your water. So like you drink more water, and they also make like water bottles. I got a glass reinforced one with the pretty flowers on it. And I got my husband a nice big steel water bottle in black, very masculine, because he was saying to me, like, I want to drink more water, but like, I want to like look into like, is there any flavors? And I'm just like, I was just looking at something like this. Like, let me go ahead and I'll buy one for you. I'll buy it in the little variety pack, and we'll try it out, and we'll drink more water together and get healthier together. So that's what I'm drinking right now. Not in my water bottle. I have to clean them. But I think I added, I don't know which one this was. I think it's the one that has like lemongrass in it. And it's nice, and it's like sugar free, and I don't know. Looks good. Ooh, I think we have like a question. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, awesome. It works. Cool. Okay. Tap a question to answer. Oh, cool. All right. So Bex Tarot has a question. Awesome. And I see that Katie also has a question about the astrology. So let's go for it. I know Katie is like living in the future, like the future is now, because you're in, I'm going to get it wrong again, Katie, and I'm sorry, Australia or New Zealand? I think it's Australia. Let me know if I'm right. I always forget for some reason. I don't know why. It's not that I don't love and appreciate you. It's just I just forget. Anyway, so first of all, Bex Tarot is asking over on Instagram, question. I was really restless on Wednesday, but simultaneously exhausted. Work vibes were off. Yeah, Wednesday was fucked up. It was totally fucked up. Okay. So Wednesday, because that was my difficult day too. So pay attention, Bex Tarot, or any of you, the Wednesday was off. Here we go. Yes, this is the reason why. So you can get big things done thanks to the Capricorn moon lighting up the skies for Wednesday and Thursday. That's for hosting meetings, negotiating deals, tackling critical projects. Put on your CEO cap. Make all the crucial decisions. There's no better lunation for seeing where you need to kick ass. Cosmic kerfuffles in the early part of the day could bring aggravating communication and stiff competition. Take a deep breath, don't get distracted from your own hustle, and put off any unnecessary conversations until the afternoon. The evening finds Mercury conjunct Mars at 11:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an aspect that could deliver extra mental energy for working late into the evening or tense conversations. The moon then trines both of those aspects shortly after, which eases the stress and keeps the excellent work mojo going. So for Wednesday, the tip was to limit the bullshit and stay on your grind. So if you were feeling restless, if you were feeling distracted, if you were feeling simultaneously restless and exhausted, and the work vibes were off, that was the reason why. If you allowed yourself to get distracted by other people's bullshit or the unnecessary, that would be it. So I hope that helped you, Bex Tarot, and you're welcome. All right, so over here on the Facebook, we have Katie's question. Sunday and Monday was crazy but somehow it all cleared Thursday night, Friday morning. So what happened Thursday night into Friday? And you've translated it back into New York time. And yes, you're in Australia. Okay. So what is it that I'm looking for? Thursday into Friday, right? Or Monday? Let's look at Monday I'm going to look at Monday, and then I'm going to look at Thursday very quickly, because we need to get into the gear, right? Okay. Sagittarius moon. Put your business on blast the next 2 days. You can attract more of those rubber bands. Hold on, Sagittarius. Where is that on the scope? Venus in harmonious Libra. Venus in Libra on the 16th. Fantastic for client attraction. Negotiations, cooperation, forging new connections, strengthen current relationships. If you've been short of help, this might be the best transit for interviewing new faces too. And Venus will be in Scorpio on September 10th. So from the 16th to September 10th, it's going to remain in Libra, Venus in Libra. Yeah. The lunation wants truth. Honest conversations with your team or clients may be necessary. If something needs to be said, now is the time to speak up. But then hold your tongue when the moon squares Mercury at 1:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not the time for brutal honesty. Words quickly turn harsh. Feelings may be hurt. Do not read the comments. Online critics out in full force. And then the energy eases. So there was like a short window of time Monday afternoon, or at least my Monday afternoon, that it was just like nasty. And then it went back to being nasty. Moon square Mars, 6:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Argumentative, stirring conflict, news cycle, ugly. Yeah. So that's Monday. So you got that, right? And then Thursday night into Friday. So Thursday, yep, you're on it. Evening is a bit dicey, beginning with the moon conjunct Pluto, 7:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Power struggles possible. Moon also void at that time. It's likely they'll be resolved. Sun Jupiter opposition around 8:30, and suddenly you got the perfect recipe for egomaniacs, big mouths coming in for a showdown. Shut off internet, refuse to engage. Aspect lingered into tomorrow, keeping boundaries high, television off. News may be rather intense as we go into the weekend. Also, watching your spending. Overly optimistic investing could prove to be disastrous. See, this is the reason why I'm saying buy what you're going to use and, add slowly. Katie, does that help? Let me know. And then we're going to move into our bigger topic for the episode. I'm waiting on Katie's response. And then I'm going to go up. Yep, there we go, Katie. You were on it. I did the right thing staying off of media. Yes, thank you. Awesome. Great. So glad it helps. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pull out our timer widget. Sorry, this doesn't apply for IG. I don't have anything fancy on IG, except I did have that fanciness with the question that I was able to display on IG. So that was kind of fun. Thanks for trying that out with me. That's cool. All right, so the countdown timer, I'm going to give myself 2 minutes. No, not weekend forecast. Filming. Hold on. Cool. All right. Now, Katie said that's why it got better. Yep, exactly. All right, so let me go grab my foam board or poster board or whatever the hell it's called to give you an example of here's some, quick cheats, something that's low cost. And then we'll move into something that's a little bit more higher cost. And actually, as I'm sitting here about to get up, I just found something that's more low cost. So that makes me delighted and happy. So now I'm going to put that right there. All right, be right back in about a minute. Go ahead, hydrate yourself. Start to think of some questions about gear and filming tarot spreads or photographing tarot spreads. I will be right back. Okay, I haven't lost everyone, right? Back. Because I'm literally looking around my apartment right now and I'm thinking of different things that I've used in the past to film my my tarot readings, my card of the day, different things. And not only the gear itself, but also little accoutrements, little accessories, things that kind of like um, enhance, I guess, the kind of background that you want to do with a card. And some of these tips I've learned from different choruses, and I will try and give credit with where I've learned it from if I remember where I learned it from. Like some of these I've learned from Kat Karoy's Instagram makeover chorus, which is all about, making over your Instagram feed and making your posts better, photographing, also knowing like color scheme, kind of your brand and what it looks like and what you want to convey in your feed. So that's part of the reason why I'm tending towards purple in my Instagram feed because, it's something that I learned about from that chorus, where it's just like purple indicates royalty or intuition or this or that. So I try to have like either white or purple in the background in order to kind of bring my feet together and make it look pretty but also accessible, and have allow for white space as well, because sometimes you look on Instagram or you look on the different photos or whatever, or Facebook or YouTube. And it's just like, it's so cluttered looking sometimes. Like you're trying to do too much in the photo, that it kind of takes away from what you're trying to convey in the photo and also the other photos on your feed, when you see it side by side by side. So that's the reason why I'm letting those photographs air out a little bit, creating that white space, which I mean, I know I'm familiar with a few designers, and usually they don't want that white space. It's not aesthetically pleasing to have white space, but our eyes need that. Our eyes need a little bit of white space to be able to understand what we're looking at. So that's one trick that I have. And so let me know if this is boring you, or let me know if this is helpful to you. And also, as you think of it, here's the benefit of doing these shows live. Go ahead and drop your questions into the chat, whether you're on Instagram or whether you're watching this over Facebook or YouTube. Go ahead, drop them into the chat. Also, even if you're watching the replay, I am going to be able to get to those questions. I mean, I won't be able to see them as we're recording them live here, but I will be able to look at the comments afterwards, and I'll be able to write back to you and be like, oh, well, that's a good question. And maybe I'll cover it in this, and maybe I won't. And if I don't cover it, feel free to ask it, when you're watching the replay, and I'll get to your question when I can. So white space. Here's one tip that I got. Definitely, I got it from Kat Karoy's Instagram makeover. And of course, I didn't do it today. But if you feel comfortable like wearing nail polish or putting on press-on nails, put it on your thumbs and then hold it up. Like hold up the card and then take a picture, and it gives like a little bit of variety, it gives it a little bit of spice, it gives a little bit of color, if you want to do that. So that's like a quick thing for if you're product based, if you're tarot based, if you're a tarot reader, service provider, and you're holding something up, like paint your thumbnails, use that as an element to photographing. Another thing, especially talking about white space, go ahead and get yourself, if you want a blank canvas, you can prop a poster board up, or you can place it down and lay stuff on it. So this is my example here. This is a foam board in white. This happens to be something from Royal Brights, I guess is the name of the company. But it's just a too cool foam board, 22 by 28, 22 by 28 inches. So that's how large it is. You don't have to make it this large, like something that'll serve your purposes. And you can either prop it up and use it as a plain background, or you can place it flat and then place your elements on top of it and photograph that way. Again, being careful of shadows. So you might have recognized this actually from past episodes, because I may have had my foam board up back here and had my camera a little bit closer to try and simulate a white background without actually having a white background. So it makes sense to everybody. And that I just got at the CVS. And I don't even know how much it was. Probably no more than $5, if that. Probably less than that, actually. And I've done quite a few photos on top of it. When Gala Darling's first issue of the Vortex magazine came out, I put that onto my foam board, and then I scattered the confetti that came along with it, that like was in the package with it, scattered along that pink and purple confetti, framed it up nice, and then took a picture. And I did that overhead with some lighting, and used the free version of a Color Story app to light it up, make it lighter, make it darker. So that's another tip that I can give to you. Not necessarily gear or lighting, but it's something that you can go ahead and take all the photos that you want to, and then you can edit them to lighten them later using free applications. Like there's a free version of Canva. You can do it in Canva. You can do it in a Color Story. You can add different elements. You can add different filters. You can change the color saturation. And actually, that's like a quick tip that I can give you is play with the color saturation in your images in order to make it a little bit lighter, so that you don't have the "I filmed this in a cave" effect. So Canva.com, a Color Story is available on your apps, and I think that's more of a phone app rather than a web-based app. But then you can definitely get an app version of Canva as well. Everyone still with me? Any questions so far? And I need to pull up my gear list that I had already started writing out. So let me pull that up. All right, all good, still here, all good, all good. Okay, let me let this load. Okay. I also want to say that, so Canva, and I'm going to write this down, a Color Story, just to make sure that I don't forget about saying that. But there's also more gear lists that you can get, and more complicated gear lists that you can have. through Molly Mahoney and the Prepared Performer. And that is the whole reason, her camera confidence chorus is the whole reason that I'm doing these weekly live shows, and have found options such as Be Live, which is my third party streaming, so that I can put up cool things like my agenda that I have as a sidebar now. And that sidebar thing that I just did that in Canva, like, and dropped out. I used a transparent background. So I happen to have the paid version of Canva only because I used it so much that I'm just like, let me just pay for this because I use it so much. I want the premium features, and I know that it's going to work for me because I already use the free version all of the time. And I wanted mostly to get the paid version so that I could use the background remover tool, which is available to paid subscribers. So I knew that I was going to be using that all the time. But you don't have to get the paid versions unless, of course, I'm going to definitely use this like every day. Again, try, use free trials. See if it works for you, see how it can work for you, or if it's going to work in the long term for you. And if you think that it's not going to work in the long term for you, like, just keep the free, like, do the free version. Don't pay for something that you think like, oh, I'm gonna not use this in a year's time, because that's just wasting your money. So anyway, the Prepared Performer, Molly Mahoney, does have a gear list as well. I'm going to go ahead and drop that into the chat here. Don't go to it. And I'll probably give that in my gear notes too. But yeah, like my phone, my iPad, a digital camera. Like, I do have a digital camera. And do you remember that? Do you remember the days when you had to have a separate piece of technology for each of these things, right? Your phone, your iPad, digital camera, this, that. Like, now all you really need is a smartphone to be able to do all of these different things. I mentioned Canva already. The free version is quite helpful as well, but if you want certain elements, some of those elements might be on the premium version alone. So, do your own assessment of whether or not you're going to use it and use it frequently, and decide accordingly. Good so far, everybody? Another thing that I wanted to say is, using this foam board backgrounds, think about different elements that you can put alongside, like your tarot card, or your crystal, or anything else that you want to feature if, like, you happen to be product based or even service based. What other accessories or secondary things can you put in the picture that would enhance the image that you're trying to create? Like, you might be focused on, like, the oracle card, or the tarot card, or the rune, but maybe there's some other elements that you want to tie in there that is associated with that card without taking the focus away from that card. Or maybe you want to do something seasonal in nature. Like, for example, I'm just grabbing this here because I was over near my living room windows, and that for a time was where I was photographing my my card of the day, because that's where the light was. So, besides this whole gear list, right? Like, you don't necessarily need all this gear that I'm talking about. Go where the light is naturally. And sometimes natural lighting, even, I'm going to sound like a pompous asshole saying this, but a lot of photographers use natural light for this reason. Like, it's sometimes there's no substitute for great natural light. And so they will use what they got, and they will film or photograph at certain times a day, especially like, um, you know, dusk or near to dusk, where you've got that golden light of the day or the golden hour of the day. I think the golden hour of the day comes from the lighting that comes with that time of the day, where everything is just painted with this patina of gold. Um, Really, no substitute for that. Anyway, so in the mornings, I would do my card of the day, and I would do it over on the windowsill of my living room windows. And I would set it up in such a way that either the additional stuff that I would put in my photo was informing the tarot card, or it was showing the season. So, for example, and this is how long ago I must have done that, now that I have different tools that I don't have to do that anymore. For I think July 4th weekend, maybe last year or the year before, I put my keychain, my red, white, and blue keychain that I got on the Disney cruise that we had for our honeymoon. I got this. I put this with the card of the day to like show, okay, this is seasonally what's happening, or this is associated with this holiday, and I happen to be pulling this card on July 4th weekend. So you can do the same thing with like flowers if you want to, or feathers, or twigs, or bark, or stickers. Even you don't have to stick the stickers down, but maybe you can just have the backing still on the stickers, and put the stickers around it, or crystals. Even like I have my smoky quartz over here, I have my amethyst rainbow puff, I have even pieces of jewelry sometimes, like use the pendant, like, oh, it's summertime, and I wanted to do like an ocean theme, like maybe this necklace, I could put down the pendant in the necklace. So you can find different ways to enliven your photographs by doing that. Another thing that I did that I really liked was I didn't necessarily use the backing of the same tarot deck, but I'm going to use this as an example. What I did for some of my pictures was I put down two cards face down from the deck, and then I would put the card that I wanted to feature as the card of the day on the top. So look how interesting that could be. Hold on, let me fan this out properly. So look how interesting that could be as like a graphic element, on a white background. And it's not taking away. See? It's not taking away from the image itself or what you're trying to convey. Make sense? Yes, exactly. That is a great suggestion, Sophia. So that's what I'm talking about here. I've been thinking about getting some tile samples from the hardware store to take pictures on. Exactly. So you could get some tile samples to have something interesting to work with, or even paint samples. Like the paint swatches or the little like squares. Do that, or if you want to create your own background, like there's nothing stopping you from doing it. Like get like a piece of wood or plywood or something and paint it, or paint a design or whatever, and have your card of the day on that. And also, there are so many creative people that are using, you've got like laser cut wood, etched like Ouija boards, spirit boards, and then also Jamie Sawyer has been doing some amazing work. And I'm only saying this because like I have one right in front of me right now, where she has these wonderful one card stands for like your card of the day that you can prop up your card of the day. But then she also has boards in which you have like the laser cutting etched out where you place your cards. And that is an interesting background as well if you want to do things that way. So again, you can get as fancy and you can spend a lot of money on this gear. And I'm saying use what works for you, see what works for you before you go ahead and make that investment. So Jamie Sawyer, by the way, is the creator of the Pocket of Peers Tarot deck, which I've been doing for my card of the day pulls for this month. So like today, for example, we got the Emperor card. And so what I did was I propped the Emperor card. And I did exactly this. And I took the picture. I sent it to Canva. I placed it where I wanted it to. I have, a standard background that I've done in purple and white that I substitute out. So it's 3 that I rotate out. And I try not to do the same one back to back each day. And then I do the background remover so that I feature the card itself. Sometimes the card and this will be showing up, sometimes just the card, and create my background using Canva and just taking the backdrop out of the photograph and just having the backdrop that I've created in Canva. So that's another solution you can do. And that's something that I've just only recently happened upon. And that's what I've been doing to kind of bring a consistency in imagery to my feed, basically. So that's what you're seeing. You're just seeing that card and a background that I created in Canva. That's as, simple or as complicated as you can make it. All right. So anything else any questions you have before I go ahead and hold up some of the gear that I have? Because I know we want to talk about lighting implements. I'm not going to be able to show you the lighting implement that I'm using right now, but I can show you the box that it came in and that I use it like every single time that I record, every single time that I'm doing like my card of the day and I need that lighting. I'm using it, and I'm also using a portable power bank in order to light things up too. So I'm going to open up the floor for some questions before we go into the specific gear list. So just give me a yes, no, maybe so. Or ready for the gear itself. Okay. Sophia's saying all good. And since this episode has been geared specifically to Sophia's request, I'm going to go ahead and honor that. And let's go to the meat and potatoes of this, which is the gear itself. So speaking of Molly Mahoney and the Prepared Performer, I grabbed this case because I had the packaging like on hand with the other packaging that I have, but then I was able to find like the light itself. So I'm very happy about that. So this was something that I actually won in a little giveaway. First of all, let me go ahead and feature Sophia's comment right now. I feel so special. You should feel special, but also like this is stuff that I don't think about until someone asks me. So I really appreciate those kind of topic requests because like you just get into it and you get into this habit and like you use what you know and like you don't tend to go backwards and think about like where you've come from, or like that it's become so second nature that you don't even realize some of the stuff that you're using because like you just don't think about it. So it's like making me think about it. So thank you for making me think about it. Sarah is still here too, ready for gear. Okay, so this is something that I won, and this is actually, it's funny because I started to see like these videos about the prepared performer and the camera confidence chorus, and I started to hear about Molly Mahoney, who is very charismatic and is based in like musical theater. And it almost became this her business is basically created on taking business owners and giving them the tools that performers already know. Like she was a touring actress, singer, musician, um, and dancer as well. And so the things that she knows as a performer, not a lot of business owners know because they're just in their business. They don't know how to perform. They don't know how to present, in a fun and engaging way. And like use this kind of like presentation or these like online videos or workshop as like a tool of their business. It can be very cut and dry. And so that's kind of how her business was formed, is showing those tools that she knows as a performer and like teaching business owners how to do that for themselves and showing them what to do. So like she's the reason why I've been doing this weekly show. It's like part of my kind of outreach, like, and also it's like such a great tool because like instead of answering a frequently asked question like 50, 100 times in text format or over emails or creating a template or whatever, you can just go ahead and do a live and answer those questions in real time and be like, okay, so this is the question I get asked a lot about. And so I have some thoughts about this. And then also you can take it and repurpose it and be like, okay, so, actually somebody asked me about that the other day and I recorded a video. Here's the video. I hope it helps answer your question. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions. And it just becomes such a great tool and a great way of doing it. And also it's like not boring, and also kind of gives you confidence as well being on camera. So, and I hope it shows, because like 2 years ago when I started doing this, I was very, very awkward. Very awkward. And if you stuck with me through this whole time, I appreciate that. But it was definitely very stilted, very awkward. And, eventually you come into a rhythm, you figure it out. Anyway, so from the videos that she did, I really liked what she had to say. And I ended up purchasing the program, Camera Confidence, and like working it. And this has resulted, this weekly show has resulted from that work. And I'm still in it and I'm still learning from it as well. But in one of the promotional videos that she did, where she was live answering questions, fielding the chat, all of that kind of stuff, she did like a nugget giveaway where you do like, you say something that you learned from the video. And actually we might do that tonight. Not necessarily a giveaway, because I don't know what to give. I haven't planned for it, but maybe in a future episode we'll do something like that. So she was giving away selfie ring lights in this like nugget giveaway. And all you had to do was write in like hashtag nugget and then something that you learned from that video. And me, who has the mindset that I've really worked hard to get away from, is like, oh, I never win anything, but let me try or whatever. And I got myself out of the way, or, and I put the nugget in or whatever, and I happened to win this selfie light. So this is what I'm going to tell you about. First of all, Katie said, Sophia, you are asking all my questions, so the floor is yours. Okay, cool. So Sophia says 100% I'm a musician and we get pushed to advertise on social media all the time. There's my flute Instagram and my Instagram, LOL. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it is a question of like, well, do you do two different accounts? Like, is that something that you do? Or do you try and integrate both because you're multi passionate and you do, you know, do one thing or another, and it's just like, there's different schools of thought. And it really is about like, what you're trying to do with those accounts. Are you trying to integrate them and have like kind of more of a holistic account, or are you trying to like drum up something for this or drum it something for, so I totally get what you're saying. Me, I only have the one Instagram account because that's all I can really handle. I can't handle more than one. Even though I was thinking about creating an Instagram account for the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, but I don't know if I want to make more work for myself, basically. Um, so Sophia says, I have my music one and my tarot one. The tarot people are all open to the music, and the music people are a mixed bag. Right. So you're like kind of answering your own question there. If there was a question, like maybe you can do both tarot and music at the same time. And maybe, the music people hop off, or maybe you don't want them hanging around in the first place if they're going to be turned off by the tarot stuff. So it is that kind of like almost using your platform to have people self-select their way out, because you don't really want people there in your feed um, that aren't your kind of people or aren't going to ever buy from you. Like you want to be able to target people. Like obviously on this live stream, I'm not for the people that are looking for free readings, and I've never claimed to be either, and I've usually shut that kind of shit down as soon as it happens. But exactly, I'm not for those people. I'm for the people like you, like Katie, that tune in every week and ask about these topics rather than freebie, 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 because I always give free at the end of every episode, using the weekend forecast as an example, the tarot reading for the collective or the oracle reading for the collective to bring you into the weekend. So, I can see it from different angles. Anyway, so this is what I won from Molly Mahoney, but this is something that you can purchase as well. And this is like for smartphones live show. So this is the coming. It's a SG11 selfie ring light. It works even in low light. There's three-way bulbs. Pupil radiance, so it gives you pupil radiance. So it's like kind of like, for selfies, made for selfies, but you can totally use it for your computer. You can use it for your phone, either way. So this is, selfie ring light SG11, natural color tones, even in low lights. And this is something that Molly Mahoney branded with her company name, The Prepared Performer. So I'm going to go ahead and show you here. And I think some of you guys, if you've been with me for a while now, I've been using this one for a long, long time before I got my clamp light that I'm going to show you next. So you guys can go ahead and see that here. And so this is, it doesn't have a battery. It's very thin, but you can go ahead and you can charge it using any kind of charging implements or whatever. It's just like a regular USB plug-in to the charger, and the charger is right up here. And then it is a clamp light. So you can clamp this over. I'm going to go ahead, clamp it over your computer lights or your computer camera, or you can clamp it over your phone. And right now it's very, very, I need to charge it up, but that has, I think, 3 settings. So let me go ahead, turn off this. And then this is the light that's coming out of this one. So it's like not quite as powerful, but it will get the job done. And this is something that I was using before I went and got the lights that I got from Social Light. So you can totally use that. And I'm sure it's cheap and it works. So let me yank that off of there. So this is a selfie ring light. Okay. Has a little bit of a buffer on here so you're not, and a buffer over here where it clamps down onto your technology so you don't feel like you're damaging your technology or anything like that. So that's first example. And I mean, I think this is good for on the go as well. If you just happen to be, at a park or out or, doing whatever. And now have no idea how I put this into the box to begin with. Anyway. All right, so that's the first one. Second one, this is the one that I use all the freaking time. It's the one that I'm using right now. So this is the live broadcast clamp on light from Social Light. And it has a phone holder with it's a phone holder with selfie ring light for live streams. So see the box there? And I think they do still make it. This is a great, great option. And it also has a charger in here too, a plug compatibility, wall plug compatibility. So you don't have to, like, if you happen to have access to a wall plug, cool. If you don't, use your computer and use the USB in your computer. And that's what I usually do. So right now, my power source is the computer that I'm using. You don't have to do that. I'm going to also show you a portable power bank that I just got. That's a great alternative. So let me show that again. So this is what I'm using currently right now. See that, everybody? And this here, those are not separate ring lights that you have to do or whatever, or put on or off or take off. That is built into the lighting, the ring light itself. So again, you just switch it, and you're good to go. So this is what I use. This right here. This is the one that I use all the time now. And I think it was only like $25. Like, I'm not even joking with you. Really, really great option if you want something that works and is easy to work with. Just really, really happy with it. While we're still in, that's a good question, Sophia. Very good question. So Sophia is asking, what do you clip it to? Are you recording through your phone attached to the light? Yes. So you're not seeing that though. What I'm doing right now is I have the ring light focused right here. It's about, I would say, 5 inches above where I have my my laptop placed. So you're seeing this through my laptop camera. And the ring light, I've positioned the arms or the arm of the light 5 inches above the camera, because that happens to be the best placement for me, lighting wise, so that you don't see the ring so much in my glasses. And there's also different tips and tricks for like filming while wearing glasses with the light and everything. Clipped where, and then my phone is right over here. Like, I can pull right now and show you where the clamp is. And that's a different arm. So it's two arms. One is the light coming up, one is the arm with the phone clamp. And then there is the clip, the other clip where you have it stationed. So what you have the whole thing affixed to, and that is my desk, which is almost like a TV tray, kind of shaped like this, the legs this way. So you've got the surface of the TV tray, you've got the legs, and then you have the legs underneath. Which is the reason I like slide in and out. So this is something that I use as a desk. I have this light clamped to the side of that desk. So it's about this thick. The clamp is very heavy duty. So you can totally, certain widths, like you can't have a very thick surface, but it will work reasonably. I mean, this is supposed to work for countertops as well. If you've got a little bit of an overhanging countertop, you can affix it to the countertop, like if you're making like a cooking video, or you can attach it to the side over here. Yeah. So yes, that makes sense. So like, let me show you again before we get into the headset. But I know we want to focus mostly on lighting, right? So the light portion, this arm, so you've got the arms, right? The light portion, I've placed that 5 inches above the laptop camera. The clamp portion arm is over here to the side. And then phone clamp portion over to the side. And then here, see that clamp right there? That is clamped into the side of my desk. And I'll show that again for Insta. I'm telling you, great investment. I have been super, super happy with it. Can't even tell you how happy I am with it. And also, so speaking of lighting, I do want to drop into the chat something else that I have not used that yet. And I'll try and put the link in here. So I'm going to drop that in. Okay. So the one that I purchased that I haven't really used yet, but I got a little too big for my britches and I got very ambitious. This is a beautiful set. It's the 10-inch LED ring light kit with stand and phone holder for live streaming video photography, compatible with all phones and Android phones. Now, I think I got the 12-inch, but I don't think they sell that anymore. So I've put in an equivalent, which is the 10-inch. Let me break this out. So now the 10-inch LED ring light that I just dropped in there, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link directly to it. But I'm going to drop the link directly to the clamp light, which I recommend more highly because it's the one that I use the most. So the one that's in the chat right now, this is the one that has the phone stand and everything. And, it's big and complicated, but I am going to use it eventually. But I would recommend going with the clamp light first. So, yeah, here it is. Clamp phone holder with ring light. Yeah, so Original selling price is $39.99 for the clamp phone holder, but they usually do a lot of sales, and right now it's on sale for $11.99. So there we go. Drop that into the chat as well. So Sophia says, perfect. My biggest issues at the moment are lights and where to stick my phone to record. I figured out my overhead shot tentatively, but still trying to get a decent setup for showing my face with proper lighting. Yes, I think this clamp light is going to be probably the best option for you because you can do both. And I have done it before. It can be a little bit awkward sometimes. I don't want to go and do this while I'm filming, with using my phone. But yes, you can swivel it. The arms that come off for the clamp light are flexible. So you can move and maneuver the light where you want it to be and also where you want to position the phone. And so you can do that overhead shot with this lighting implement and have it be okay. And then you can move the light in such a way so that it's not casting a shadow. Yes, Katie is saying clamp light seems more portable if you're going to do things away from your desk. Yes. So primarily, most of the time, I'm working at my desk. Like I'll do these lives at my desk. Um, but if I want to be on the go and I want to light something, like I don't know. I might not bring my clamp light. I might use the little selfie lights. So it's like different tools for different purposes, right? Okay, so those are lighting implements. Now, there is also a company that I just started working with, and I just became the brand ambassador. So I'm going to show you some of the lighting implements that they have, and you can choose accordingly. And also, I do want to feature this company because I got my power bank from them, which I'm really, really excited about. It's super functional and it's super cute. It works. So I'm very excited about it. So let me see. No. All right. Got it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my referral link in here. Yes, exactly. So Sophia saying that sounds way better than what I'm doing now. I'm working with twinkle lights taped to the roof of my desk and a gooseneck tripod. Yeah. I think the clamp light is something that's gonna really change you. It's gonna change everything. It's gonna be a game changer. And Sophia also says, "Ooh, moving up in the world, professional lady." I don't know about that. I think it's just more, more affiliate or ambassador, brand ambassador means, more people buying their stuff. So I think it's more that than, influencer. But anyway, this is my referral link. I wanted to make sure that I had my referral link on hand. So I'm going to go ahead and show that, but you're able to click on that. And so this is a brand called Multitasky. And the reason why I want to talk about Multitasky is because it does have some lighting implements. So let's see. They have Oh my. Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff here. So they do have a multi-charging self-powered ring light. They have foldable ring lights. They have clampy bendy lamps as well. They have the transformable portable lantern lamp, which I think is super cute, and I think probably something that is very usable as well. Um, but the thing that I wanted to show you, so there are lighting implements. I just can't vouch for them right now because I don't have them right now. I wanted to feature the thing that I actually use, well, the lighting implement that I actually use, which is from Socialite Lighting. So you have those links in the chat now. The thing, and you have an option to like look on Multitasky with their different lighting options and see if something like that works for you as well. The reason why I wanted to talk about Multitasky, not only with lighting implements, is also because they have really, really cute and functional office supplies, desk supplies, work supplies. And this is something that I wanted. I was looking already into getting a power bank, a portable power bank, so that I can charge up my phone when I'm on the go. So I'm not having to ask, in a public place, or looking for, a wall socket, or looking for, or asking, oh, do you have some place that I can plug my phone in to charge? I just didn't want to do that. So this is from Multitasky. It is the macaron. Oh, speaking of, my battery power is down for my phone, so I can actually do this right now. Hold on. I think it might be this one. So what you do, this is also a hand warmer too. Very multi-use, multifunctional, but I mostly got it for charging things up. So put one end, and this is two in one with a magnetic closure. Look at that. Mirror as well. So you can take a look at my setup a little bit. Mirror if you need to prep. And also a hand warmer too. Let me make sure that this is working. Oh, I don't have my phone charger. I have to go get it. All right, give me 1 second, because otherwise this is going to end very poorly. Hey, honey, I'm still in the middle of my recording.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I brought us home some dinner.
Okay, I'm still in the middle of my recording, so shush. All right, so really quickly, plug this USB into here. Okay. Plug this into here. And we're in business. So let me show you. So, yes. All right. All right, back on it. So when it's charging, it has a little blue glow to it over here. So we are currently charging up my phone because it was at 15%. So don't want the Instagram feed to cut out. But this is a 2-in-1 clamped together, 2 power chargers here. And it's also a hand warmer. So you press once, it lights up white, and you wait for it. And you can warm up your hands and get toasty if you're cold. Click it again, it glows orange. Hold on. There we go. Glows orange. And so that's the hotter setting. And then click one more time to turn it off. So that is something, that's like the main reason I ordered from Multitasky. But then I found all of these different other things, including the lamps, including a vegan leather laptop sleeve that also is a stand as well. So many things on there that's cute and functional and helpful. Yes, exactly. Yes, that's the reason why I'm bringing it up, Sophia. So Sophia's asking, and I'm guessing you can power the clamp with that, the clamp light with that. Exactly. In case you're not using a computer or you can't use something to charge the light with or to power the light with, you can use this. And actually, I did this the other day during my card of the day, where I had my laptop in another room and I was using the same space to put my card of the day down on my desk, lit it from overhead, and then used the positioned the camera through the hole of the light to be able to take my picture. So, yes, exactly. So Sophie is also saying that's so smart and so little. Like, yeah, it's how you hold it in your hands and you have the little touch up or whatever. You can touch up your makeup. You can put it back again. You can write yourself a little love note on the other side. It's like super, super functional. Do you have to charge it before you use it? Yes, you do. You have to charge it up. And then the battery keeps that charge, or that power bank keeps that charge when you're ready to use it. And then it lights up, it blinks red and white flashing. If it's low on juice and you need to charge it up, then you would have to plug it into a power source and charge it up before you use it again. Yeah, exactly. Genius. And also some of the other stuff on Multitasky is just like super, super cute. And if you don't think this design or you don't like this design, there's another one in a suitcase. It looks like a little suitcase, and it's also a hand warmer and a power bank. Super, super cute. Go ahead and use my referral link. And I think you can get either 10% or 20% off your purchase if you use my referral link. And then I also get something back from it too. So win-win situation. And I'm like really obsessed with this company right now. I have their Flyport 4-in-1 USB port too. And like look at the bags that it came in. Super cute. So this is their Flyport 4-in-1 USB. And it's shaped like an airplane. And you can get it in different colors. And again, you can also use this. You can plug this in to your macaron power bank and then plug everything in accordingly that you need to like charge up. So it's a very powerful combination of tools that I've just given you. So be advised, be warned. All right, I know that we're coming up onto like 2 hours of the broadcast, so let me try and wrap this up a little bit. I did want to talk about one more thing that I wanted to show you, which is like for phone readings. I know this is geared list mostly about filming tarot spreads and photographing tarot spreads. And I know we wanted to talk about the lighting implements, so we talked about it. I hope I gave you a lot of ideas to be able to light your way. But this is something that I use all the time for my phone readings, which is a headset. So I'm going to put that on over my ears. hands-free, very helpful. You're not craning your neck and also trying to read tarot at the same time. And so this is the VTech 2 handset connect to cell answering system with cordless headset. And I figured out that I probably charged this a little too much. And so it wasn't holding the charge the other day when I had to do a phone reading. So I had to like kind of crane my neck. So I'm going to keep it off of the holder for now because I don't want to make that same mistake again. But this is something that can be an option for you. And I'm not saying that it's cheap. It's not cheap. But you may want to invest in it if you're doing a lot of readings, if you're doing a lot of phone readings. So this is what it looks like. So this is everything that you get. You can also set your headset to connect to your cell phone using, I think, Bluetooth, if I'm remembering correctly. I think so. Yeah. I haven't done that because mostly I'm calling into my conference calling number, which is freeconferencecalling.com. And it is absolutely 100% free. And when I call in, I want to use a landline. So I use my landline in order to call in. And that gives you all of the different options to have a you can have like a party line if you want to and have multiple people on it, or you can have one-to-one. What I usually do is I have my client call into the conference call number, and you get your own conference code and hosting code. And what I do as soon as they call in is I lock the call so that nobody else can come into the call. Privacy is very important. And then I turn the recording on. And so that way I can give myself an option to then have the recording be available at the end of the reading. And then I can download it from that website, and then I can upload it using email and give them all of the spreads that I photographed for the cards that have come up, along with the MP3 of the recording. So they get everything all at once in their email after the reading. And this is something that I have done trial and error. This is not something that I've stumbled upon, and just started doing it. No, this is definitely years and years of trial and error and what finally worked for me. I could tell you the stories about using my Google number and having people call into my Google number and then setting the recording and then finding out it sounded like I sounded underwater and it ended up like not working. And so I had been looking into many different options. And these are the things that have worked time and time again over the years, and things that I have evolved and grown into as my business has grown and evolved. So if you're thinking like, oh, why didn't I think of that? It's like don't beat yourself up about it. This has come with years and years of trial and error. So Sophia is saying, genius. That's so helpful. Thank you tremendously. This is so helpful. That's what I do it for. That's what I like to hear. That's the reason why I do it. So any questions and anything that I didn't tackle in this mega episode of Tarot by Hilary Live? Speak now, or forever hold your peace, or hold your peace until next week's episode. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up our schedule, because we're only doing 2 episodes this month. Because I needed my time off, y'all. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me take down. All right. So, next week's episode, also by popular demand, we're going to be talking about altars, how to set up an altar, what is an altar used for, how you do it, what my altar looks like, which means I'm probably going to have to clean up my altar in order to take pictures for you guys because it is a mess of incense dust right now. So, like, again, do as I say, not as I do. Make sure that you clean your altars regularly. I'm just going to say that right now prior to even filming that episode. Make sure you take care of your altars and your altar will take care of you. So, awesome. So Sophia's saying you've answered all my questions and more. Thank you. Awesome. Great. Love to hear that. Katie says this has been excellent and I will become one of those it will become one of those reference episodes for sure. Yes, that's why I do it. Sophia says, ooh, I'm excited for next episode. Yeah, love to hear that too. Katie says before and after shots of your altar. Teasing. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. I mean, I told that to my stylist when he did my hair. I'm just like, this is gonna be a before and after, So I know you're teasing, but at the same time, yeah, maybe we do need to have a before and after for that. Because, all right, let me hide that. Let us get into the weekend forecast, shall we? Let's go. I think we need an oracle card just to bring it home. I'm going to go with, oh, crud. Where did I put my, oh, okay. For a second there, I thought I was missing the entirety of one of my oracle decks. That would have been bad. That would have been very, very bad. All right. So let us do a card from the Work Your Light Oracle. And I've been using these two oracles from Rebecca Campbell and Daniel Noel, like almost exclusively when I've been pulling from oracle decks. So they have both the Starseed Oracle and the Work Your Light Oracle. The Work Your Light Oracle came first, the Starseed Oracle came second. And I'm sure they're probably going to have more. All right, what do we most need to know for the weekend? Okay, so folks, we need to be our most authentic selves this weekend, and we need to be as big as we can be because we are getting the Don't Dim to Fit In card. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So let me grab the companion book. Let's see. So page 48, Don't Dim to Fit In. All right. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you are part of the universe, so expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice, and slowly back away. They are not for you and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you or you make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too, or not. Keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't because they were likely born under the proviso of, I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. So ask yourself, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Yep. I feel like this is a pick on Sophia episode, and I'm sorry for it, but also, hey, sometimes that happens. Um, Sophia said a messy altar is a productive altar. Um, Katie said in a distracting comment, loving the curls in your hair. Thank you. My hair is naturally wavy. It gets even curlier and wavier the shorter it goes. So I'm hoping I can keep those curls maintained. Sophia says, oof, felt that message. So easy to try and push ourselves to fit in. And you're also here for it. Okay, cool. So there you go. That is your message, your weekend forecast for this weekend. Don't dim to fit in. I feel like that doesn't really need to be explained or interpreted more than that, because it's kind of like a very in your face kind of message. So we're going to leave it there. I thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for rolling with this. Thank you for, asking for this episode. I really appreciate it. Katie says that message definitely ringing true for the last few months. Sarah says, excellent hair. Love the message for the weekend. Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you. So we do this every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless otherwise noted, or unless otherwise said. Sometimes I do have to take a few weeks off. And so we are going to resume next Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with an episode on altars. So until then, it was lovely to see all of you. I'm so glad this episode helped you. This has been lovely. Thank you, Hilary. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, so let's talk about altars next episode. Whew. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Instagram. You're welcome, Facebook. You're welcome, YouTube. All right. So, once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friends, don't argue with me. You have intuition. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.